Good morning, students. Today I am going to continue chapter number 3, Electoral Politics from Civics. And today's topics are number 1 is voter list and maintaining of voter list and election photo identify card or EPIC. Topic number 2 is nomination of candidate and educational qualification for candidates. Point number 3 is election campaign, and point number 4 is polling and counting of votes. Understood? So students, in my previous explanation I told you about the fixed reservation quota for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes in Lok Sabha, Vidhan Sabha and even Panchayat also. Alright. After some years later, the government of India also fixed quota especially for OBC or other backward classes. Students, as you know very well that we are discussing about the electoral politics, in which voter list is also very important. Alright. So students, when the constituencies are decided, the next step is to decide who can and who cannot vote. And in a democratic election, the list of those who are eligible to vote is prepared much before the election and given to everyone. This list is officially called the electoral roll and is commonly known as voter list. And I think you are all aware about that, because during the time of election everyone getting a voter list, and in voter list they are checked out the name of person who wants to give votes in elections. Alright. After that, this is an important step as it is linked to the first condition of a democratic election. Alright. It means our country is an example of, even very good example of democratic country. So voter list is a important link and condition for democratic election also, because every person of India can give vote only on the basis of condition that he or she will 18 years and above. Alright. So students, everyone should get an equal opportunity to choose representatives, and all these citizens are human beings with their own needs and views. That's why all of them deserve to have an equal say in decisions that affect our politics or government. Therefore, everyone is given the right to vote, and the right to vote falls under universal adult franchise. And it means that all the citizens of India aged 18 years and above can vote in an election. And the process of election in India is regardless of his or her caste, religion or gender. Understood? After that, maintaining of voter list. So students, it is the responsibility of the government to get the names of all the eligible voters put on the voter list, and as new person attain voting age, names are added to the voters list. And students, names of those who move out of a place or those who are dead are deleted from the voter list. After that, a complete revision of the list takes place every 5 years, and this is done to ensure that it remains up to date. Understood? And students, you know very well that in our country, some criminals minded persons with criminal mind and violated the rule of law or constitution can be denied the right to vote. But this you can see only in rare situations. After that, next one is election photo identify card or epic. Students, as you know very well that from the last few years in India, a new system of election photo identity card or epic has been introduced, and the voters are required to carry this card when they go out to vote, so that no one can vote in their place. Because you know very well that nowadays, due to too much corruption and some criminal minded people always disturb the smooth functioning of election sometime, you know, and somewhere you have seen also. So students, the card has not been made compulsory for voting, and voters can show many other proofs of identity like the ration card, driving license or Aadhaar card to give vote. Understood? Okay, very easy topic. After that, your next topic is nomination of candidate. So students, in our country, our system and our constitution provides almost no restrictions on anyone to contest the election, and only this condition makes any election a democratic election. You know very well that everyone can participate and contest election. Students, anyone who can be a voter can also become a candidate in elections. But the only difference to be a voter is that the minimum age is 18 years. It means people who wants to give vote, condition is required that she will 18 or above the 18 years, then they can give vote. Alright, but candidate who wants to contest election, for that people the minimum age required to participate in election and contest election will be 25 years. It is must for every candidate who wants to contest election. Alright, but students, there are also some other restrictions on criminals, but these apply in very extreme cases. So students, political parties nominate their candidates who get the party support and symbol. Party's nomination is often called party ticket. Okay? And the candidate has to fill a nomination form and give some money as a security deposit. And every candidate has to make a legal declaration giving full details of educational qualification of the candidates, number one, and number two is details of the assets and liabilities of the candidates and his or her family. And point number three is if any serious criminal cases pending against the candidate. All these three information must given by the candidates to the responsible of election commission to contest election. So students, the information provided has to be made public in order to provide an opportunity to the voters to make their decision on the basis of the information provided by the candidates. For example, you know very well that you wanted to give or you want to give your votes to only that person who is very good and having a good character and there is no any criminal record or any issue related to them, because you and me, everyone wants to a good political atmosphere and development for the country and also for the people of India. So students, electoral roll is the voters list prepared by a door-to-door survey to include only bona fide voters and minimize the role of voters. Students, according to Universal Adult Franchise, every Indian citizen of 18 years and above have the right to vote irrespective of caste, creed and gender. It means anyone can give if he or she, rich or poor, powerful or common people, will be 18 or above the 18 years age. After that, educational qualification for candidates. So students, you know very well that there is no educational qualification for candidates for being an MP or MLA. However, the relevant qualification for candidates is the ability to understand people's concern and problems and represent people interest. So students, putting an educational qualification would go against the spirit of democracy. Why? Because it would deprive a majority of the citizens right to contest election. This is because still the majority of the Indian population is uneducated. No? Okay. After that, Next topic is election campaign. What is election campaign? So students, election campaign means the promotion or propaganda of the policies, offers and promises that the candidates make to voter. For example, if I won the election, then I will give to you fresh drinking water and proper and regular electricity or many public facilities to you. Like this, you know very well that about the leaders and politicians. So students, in this way, voters can decide the candidate to vote for, and they vote for the candidate whose policies they like. So students, in our country, election campaigning takes place for a 2-week period between the announcement of the final list of candidates and the place for polling. So students, during this period, the candidates contact their electorate, political leaders and address election meeting, and political parties mobilize their supporters, and most of the candidates moving here and there and demanding vote for them. So students, this is also the period when print media and television and news are full of election related stories and debates. Students, you know very well that the election is like a festival in India for everyone. Okay? So students, the election campaign is not limited to these 2 weeks only. Political parties start preparing for elections month before they actually take place. All right. For example, they prepare their election manifestos or the policies. In election campaigns, political parties try to focus public attention on some big issues, and they want to attract the public to that issue and get them to vote for their party on the basis of their policies and manifestos, whatever promised by the candidates to the common people. Okay? And students, very important point. In this process, slogans given by different political parties, like some of these successful slogans given by different political parties in various elections are given below. Number 1, the Congress party led by Indira Gandhi and gave the slogan of Garibi Hatao in the Lok Sabha election of 1971, and the party promised to reorient all the policies of the government to remove poverty from the country. After that, Save Democracy. This slogan was related to the Janata Party in the next Lok Sabha election held in 1977. So students, this party promised to restore civil liberties. After that, land to the tiller. The left front used the slogan in the West Bengal Assembly election held in 1977. And after that, protect the self-respect of the Telugus. This slogan was the slogan used by N.T. Ramarao, who was the leader of the Telugu Desam Party in Andhra Pradesh Assembly election in 1983. So students, these are the 4 very famous slogans which are given by different political parties only to attract the common people for taking vote by them. Alright, after that, another very important points which is related to the election campaign is code of conduct and laws. So students, to regulate the election campaign, there are some election laws which I am going to explain in front of you. Number 1 is bribe or threaten voters are totally violation of the code of conduct and laws, and there is no any right given by the constitution to the candidates appeal to them in the name of caste or religion. Alright, and there is no right for any candidate to use government resources for election campaign, and they can spend more than 25 lakh in a constituency for a Lok Sabha election or rupees 10 lakh in a constituency in an assembly election. Alright students, so these 4 points is very important and passed by the election commission as a code of conduct and laws. Okay, so students, if any party or candidate is found practicing any of the above, then their election can be rejected by the court even after they have won the election. And in addition to the laws, all the political parties in our country have agreed to a model code of conduct for an election campaign. After that, according to this, no party or candidate can use any place of worship for election propaganda, and no party or candidate can use government vehicles, aircraft and officials things for elections campaign. And third point is, once elections are announced, ministers shall not lay foundation stones of any project and take any big policy decision or make any promise of providing public facilities to the people. Okay? After that, next topic is polling and counting of votes. But first of all, I will explain polling. What is polling? So students, you know very well that on the day when dying voters cast their precious vote is called an election day. And every person whose name is on the voters list can go to a nearby polling booth and cast his or her vote through a secret ballot. Okay, you know very well that. Once the voter goes inside the booth, the election official identify him her, put a mark on the voter's finger and allow him or her to cast his or her vote. Okay? An agent of each candidate is allowed to sit inside the polling booth and ensure that the voting takes place in a fair way. Students, earlier, voting was done by putting a stamp on the ballot paper. And a ballot paper is a sheet of a paper on which names of the contesting candidates along with party name and symbols are listed. But nowadays, due to the much technological development now, we have electronic voting machines or EVMs are used to record votes. Okay? And the machines also shows the names of the candidates and the party symbols. And the voter has to press the button against the name of the candidate and she wants to cast his or her vote. Okay? After that, counting of votes. So students, we have to know that how votes counted. So students, once the polling is over, all the EVMs are sealed and taken to a secure place by the responsible of voting system. After that, a few days later or a fixed date, all the EVMs are opened and the votes secured by each candidates are counted. So students, the candidate who secures the highest number of votes from a constituency is declared elected. And within a few hours of counting, all the results are declared. Okay? And in general elections, the counting of votes in all constituencies takes place at the same time and on the same day. After that, within a few hours of counting, all the results are declared and it becomes clear that who will form the next government. And this event is reported by our TV channels, radio and newspapers also. So students, here your process of polling and counting of votes topic is completed, and in the next explanation I will explain about the what makes elections in India democratic. So students, listen my lecture carefully, and if you have any doubt or confusion, then contact me. All right, thank you and have a nice day.